Good evening all, and welcome to another video on All Hail the Ale. It's Sunday night, which means it's trad beer night, and the beers we're going for tonight are almost potentially exactly the same. We don't know, we'll find out in a minute. They are these two. It's the Titanic Plum Porter and the Aldi ripoff that's called Plum Porter as well. It's possibly a Plum Porter, who knows? We shall find out. Is it any good? We're going to do the same as we did last week with the Proper Job and the Aldi rip-off of that one, and just do the same comparisons, looks, aroma, body, taste and finish, and give a point to which one I prefer, which one I think is better in those areas. So what can I tell you about the beers? Well, Titanic Plum Porter I have drunk more of than I've probably had hot dinners, and it says that if you had suggested our best-selling and multi-award winning beer would be dark, fruit-flavoured and 4.9% ABV 3 years ago, we would have said you were mad, and that's before our brewers really understood the dark, fruity arts. It's a well-rounded porter with fruity sweet notes over a backdrop of hoppy flavour, deep red in colour, and surprisingly easy drinking for a full flavoured beer. And this one is brewed just up the road from me in Burslem. And this one from Aldi, or under their own name of Harper's Brewing Co., is also called Plum Porter. Slightly lower ABV at 4.8%, same size bottle. But this one is expertly crafted in Dorset. And it says it's a fruity dark porter brewed with the fine roasted malts and classic hops. And that's pretty much it. So yeah, there we are. There's not an awful lot on the bottle there, but we're going to do the same as we did before. My able assistant will be pouring a little of each beer into a glass whilst I'm blindfolded, and I will then sniff and taste them, and at the end we'll compare the looks and see which I prefer. As last week, I will, like I say, be blindfolded, so I don't know which one is pouring into which glass. The glasses we have are my Lemmy Beer Festival glass and my Vocation Schooner, just to keep it easy. And Josh will show you the beer in the glass before I sample it. And so without further ado, we shall get the good old faithful Saracen scarf out. We didn't do very well yesterday. We lost quite dramatically to my dad's team, Leicester Tigers. So less said about that one, the better. On with the beer tasting. So I shall make sure that I cannot see a thing. And Josh will do the same test as last week. He will put up a couple of fingers, or however many fingers he deems is necessary. Hopefully I can see them on camera. I'm going to have a guess at how many he's holding up. And I'm going to say 42. No, not got a clue how many you're holding up. So, Josh, without further ado, please grab a beer and a glass and show it to the camera.
Okay, so I'm going to choose this thing that I shall not name and pour it into this glass.
Same as last week, Josh. Probably about that much beer into each glass, just so I got enough to sniff and whatnot. Sensible on the pour on these ones, because these can be, well, Titanic Plum Porter can be quite lively. Just for an interesting side fact while he's pouring, whichever one he's pouring, I've not had the Aldi one, but I suspect I will be able to tell quite easily which one is the Titanic one.
I think I put a bit too much there.
Doesn't matter.
Depends on if you like it or not.
Very true. But I know I love Plum Porter, so...
Which one?
Titanic. Not tried the Aldi one. So the other one is being poured into the other glass.
Lids went mental.
Hopefully you can see it on camera which one he's pouring into this glass.
Into this one. Wait, no. This one into this one. Yep, all the same.
Oh, easy.
Okay.
So, in fact, I don't know which one is going to pass me first, so I'm going to take...
Okay, so this one's A, people, and this one's B, okay? Which one do you want first, A or B?
Well, pass me one into this hand.
That's B.
This is B.
And this is A.
Right, so we're going to go with A first of all. We're going to go for the sniff test. Smells fruity. Does smell fruity, whereas B It smells more malty, less sweet, a little bit more bitter on the nose. Yeah, this one is easily more fruity. So if you want to grab the scoreboards of joy from down there.
I now have why.
So you've got the scoreboards of joy. So first point to this one in the Lemmy glass. Point been awarded.
Yep.
Good. So the next test is the body test. So we're going to go with B first of all. Decent body, light to medium, good carbonation, quite smooth. And this one, all day long. Slightly smoother, slightly fuller, and the carbonation is very much like cask. So I'm going to go for this one.
The lovely point of joy has been awarded.
Thank you very much. So the next point goes on to the taste, and again we're going to go with the losing beer from last round, which is B. So this one, it's very different to the other beer. This one is quite malty, it's not as sweet, and there's hints of chocolate, and that's clearly coming from the roasted malts. It's verging on stout territory, whereas this one is plummy all day long. It's sweet plums. I know which one is which at this point, quite clearly. It's this one, but it's a very different beer to this one. This one is not bad. I'm going to say that right now. It's just very different. It's nice in its own right, but when you're drinking a plum porter, you want the plums, so the point is going to this one.
Okay.
Point been awarded?
Yes.
Happy days. So we're going to go for the penultimate test now, which is a finish. And on a beer of this nature, I want to taste the sweetness on the back end, but I also want the roasted malts as well. So again, we're going to go for the losing beer first of all. So the finish on this one is slightly bitter. It is malty. You get a real subtle hint of the fruits. And whilst it's a plum porter, I am tasting blackberry as well, which is quite interesting. It's a slightly sharper fruit note, whereas this one, it's sweet up front, juicy sweet plums. Then you get a subtle roasted malt in the back end. And this is where it gets difficult because I like them both. I do. And when I'm drinking a sweet drink, I kind like I pointed out, I do want the sweeter finish. Yeah, it's going to go this one. This beer for the point. So, when you've awarded the point of joy, I need you to hide the scoreboard.
The scoreboard has been hidden.
And I'm going to try and knock anything over on my desk. Oh, I think that's possible, but I might. So I tell you what, you put them somewhere safe.
Okay. I'm going to put that one there. And then this one, which is probably now one. There.
Well, it's definitely one. But we are going to now... Blinded by the light. Ah, there we go. We're going to award points on the visuals of the beer. So, I want them dark. They are...
about the same.
So I'm holding much different lights, yeah. So they are quite different. Although they actually, do you know what? They're really not. Really not. But the head retention is better on this one. There is a little bit more head on this one. There's really not a lot, but you can see it there when I tilt the glass. There's just a little bit more on this one. So this one gets the point. Now, we obviously know that this beer has got 4 points. The other one's got 1 point. But we're going to go to the aide memoire, which says that the Titanic PP, not the PP that comes out your PP, but the Plum Porter, has had 26,600 check-ins with an average score of 3.87, slightly higher than the Aldi beer, which has had 1,400 check-ins and 3.18 on the scoreboard of joy. So I'm saying at this very moment in time that the beer in this glass that has Lemmy von Kilmister from Burslem, from where this beer is from, is the winner. So I hope that I've got it right at this point in time. So please pass me the scoreboard of joy, which says
correct.
We have a 4-1 win for the Titanic beer. So it's a good thing that I know my Titanic beer, really, isn't it? But this is just a bit of fun. You know, there's no bad beer in this competition. They are just very different interpretations of a plum porter. If you want the classic sweet, delicious, unctuous plum porter, then you're going to clearly go for the Titanic beer. But if you want one that is perhaps a little less sweet and you're more of a fan of the stout style beer that's a little bit more roasty and a little bit more bitter, then this one will be right up your alley. You know, it's not a bad beer. It's quite a good beer. It's just very different to the Titanic Plum Porter. So there we are. We're at the end of this particular video now, so we just have a couple of things left to say. Firstly, thank you to my glamorous assistant, who appears yet again. You'll see him next weekend as well.
Maybe.
So we're going to do another comparison review of yet another Aldi rip-off beer, and we'll leave it there and say, those have been the beers, I've been me, those down there are the buttons. You know exactly what to do with them by now. You've got your like, comment, dislike, and subscribe. Choose any combination of them as you wish. And I'll see you again soon for another one. Bye.